Hello to you, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Impact. I'm Vince Sims, and we've got a great show for you this morning. We are joined by Chanessa Schuler and Larry Berger of the SLB Radio Productions, and they're here to talk about this amazing project that you have going called Crossing Fences Neighborhood-Based Oral History Initiative. Let's start off and explain first what this is.
All right, Crossing Fences is a neighborhood-based oral history program, and it's designed to connect African-American men and boys through conversation to celebrate and archive those connections using a multimedia publication. So this book, it has a CD in the back with all of the interviews on it, and all of the men are profiled throughout, and we have pictures and quotes and reflections from the boys. And then third, Crossing Fences is meant to sharpen the skills of the youth who are involved, skills that they can use for the rest of their lives.
Okay, and is this just with the youth, or does this involve both older and the youth, men?
So it does involve men, so boys and men.
Okay.
So the men are interviewed by the boys. They come in for about 30 minutes, and the boys develop the questions, and they just ask them anything that they would like.
Okay, so Mr. Berger, this is kind of like a twofold thing. I guess the boys are working on their interview skills, and they're learning skills that are being very helpful to them, but they're getting history. They're learning from the seniors.
Exactly. A big part of just about everything we do is to try to sharpen literacy skills, reading, speaking, listening, writing. So the whole process, how do you ask questions? How do you listen actively? An interview might be 40 minutes long. How do you figure out what matters and what doesn't matter? You sift through that information and come up with something that's succinct and accurate and authentic. And you work in a team to do that. You have to meet a specification. It can't be too long, can't be too short, and you have to meet a deadline. Those are all skills for journalists, but they're also all skills for life. And we hope that the boys we work with develop those skills at the same time as they're talking to the men who they have a hand in selecting. We want them to realize there are role models right in your own neighborhood. Doesn't necessarily have to be a basketball player or a football player that lives halfway across the country, but there are men, security guards, people who are engineers, dentists, factory workers, or retirees that are great role models, and they learn from those men as well.
And I know that this is right now targeting a few neighborhoods. What neighborhoods are you targeting with this, and how did this even come about that you decided to do this?
So I'll talk about who we're targeting. So there are six, that we have completed in all of these different neighborhoods: Hill District, Homewood, McKeesport, Northside, Hazelwood, and Hilltop. And right now we're looking at East Liberty and Wilkinsburg, sorry.
Okay, so it will expand. So where did this idea come from to do this type of project?
Well, we have always believed that radio is a great method to share stories. It's part of the oral tradition. It also eliminates a lot of barriers. Talking with the kinds of men, really any man or woman, people are a little more open if they don't have a camera. No offense.
No, I understand.
They don't have a camera facing at them. So we'd like to use audio for that purpose. This project came about because we were doing a lot of audio documentary making and radio programming, and we wanted to try to apply those methods to something that would help kids connect with elders in a very meaningful way. In particular, we want students to know that trajectories in life planning is not necessarily, a straight line, that there's some bumps along the way, and that you shouldn't give up, and you should recognize that even the most successful person that you admire, has had his ups and downs along the way. So this is a way, you can tell that to somebody all you want, but if they hear it directly, not only, each book has 10 to 12 men in it, so they'll hear it directly from the men they were involved in interviewing, and then indirectly by listening to the stories of the other men.
Wow. And within this project, quickly, what is something that you've seen from the students? How has this impacted them?
Actually, I'll talk about one of the one of my favorite quotes from one of the boys in Hazelwood. He said that this experience talking with someone in the community who grew up, he was like a 10-minute father figure to me. The way he conceptualized that was amazing to me, and hopefully he understands how important mentoring is, and he seeks out someone in his community to mentor him.
Wow. Okay. So with this project, and you said that it is going to be expanding, you want to do more with it, and if people are interested in getting more information about it, expanding and how they maybe can get their community involved or young people, and if they want more information about these books, how do they go about getting them?
So they can definitely contact us at the Saturday Light Brigade. So SLB Radio at slbradio.org.
Yes.
Yeah, the best bet is I think it's theirs.
Yeah, I think it's right
Go to
there.
our website, slb at slbradio.org. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the generosity of the Heinz Endowments and their African American Men and Boys Initiative, who has really provided the funding, but also a lot of guidance to us in making sure that we're successful in the project.
All right, they say all the information there on the screen to get in touch with you, slbradio.org. Thank you very much for this amazing project. I hope a lot of people actually take it and listen to it, and maybe it'll inspire others as well. All right, Ms. Schuler, Mr. Berger, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for watching this edition of Impact. Again, I'm Vince Sims. Have a great day.